specialist. We're going to take a little walk today, a little field trip maybe, and walk the camera around, show you some of the cattails and how to get rid of them. A few different ways, and we'll start off with kind of a natural or non-chemical way, so we're not haven't taken a chance of hurting the fish and wildlife and eventually our water drinking supply. So hold on tight, we'll grab the camera, zoom around, and see what we can do to keep these buggers under control. Just like weeding the garden, we could pull some of these cattails out by hand. But as you can see, there's no roots attached to this cattail. And that's basically just ripping the top of the weed off in the garden, leaving the roots, and the roots will start growing again. So if you're going to pull out by hand, make sure you're getting some of the root system, or most of it. You can also use a shovel to do this. We'll show you that in a minute. Hold on. And you can see how big just those couple little plants or stalks set out a root system. And as the time goes on, they'll just continue to grow. They'll continue to grow and have more cattails growing from them. So that's one way to get rid of the cattails. Dig them up, get them by the roots. Follow the root along until you find the end of it. Next year, you'll have a lot less growth. I don't know if we can just pull this one out. Nope. So we got to go in and find that root on that one. And it just keeps going. Here's a perfect example of how these guys just start growing and multiplying. Happy digging. Don't get me wrong, some cattails are good. They will help to shade the water, and I think this little grouping here I'm going to trim a little bit and leave it just because of the position on the pond where the sun comes around from early afternoon, later afternoon, evening. We'll start getting shade on the pond. Let's go take a look at the big pond because we have steeper banks on it. And you can tell here by looking over at the dock, the water's down a lot this year at this time. It's been pretty dry. So let's go look at another application of eliminating, slowing down the growth of cattails. I cut these probably a month ago, 3-4 weeks, and you can see where the dead stuff is, and then a new growth came out. But the big deal is we're down 8 inches of water. I cut these when the water was still full. So what we're going to do is recut them so that when the water does fill up, the water will be above the cutting, therefore chopping out some of the oxygen that it can utilize to grow. That'll help slow it down. Also, when we're coming up on winter, get done with this nice weather, things start cooling off, we want to go around and cut all the cattails down as low as we can, remove them from the pond, because we're going to go into the seed pod. That'll die off, dry out, and repopulate a whole lot more cattails. So let's get the weed cutter and see if we'll cut some weeds, cut some cattails. But of course, if you did a big area, you're going to need to get the pond rake, pull all these guys in before they start blowing all around the pond and populating more areas with cattails. But now, when the rains come again in fall, we're going to basically drown out the cattails. Let's move on to another method where it's a little, I'd say easier. It's a little more involved and could be messy. You definitely don't want to use this method if you have a pond liner. So we'll be back to show you that. Now we're going to show you another method of removing cattails. It's using a big bucket. Sometimes I get carried away. I want to make things easier. So give me a minute, we'll fire it up, jump on, and remove some cattails. Hold on. This is nothing you really want to just go run a backhoe and start digging, because it takes some finesse and, you know, knowing where the tip of the bucket's at so you're not digging too much out. You could, if you have a clay liner, you could dig through that, end up with a leak in the pond. If you have a real liner, a synthetic liner, definitely tear that up really easy. So this area that I'm digging in is a lot of sand. There's a little bit of clay, and I know that I got plenty of clay underneath if I do nick the clay liner. So hold on, let's go see what we can dig up. Maybe we'll zoom back a little. Get a little better picture. Hold on. And basically there you have it. Digging out the cattails with the machine. Quick and easy. One thing to watch for is kind of shoo and stir the area up so they get all the little fishies out of there, minnows and frogs, and go to town. So with the remaining, I'll probably clean up a little bit more with the backhoe, and there's other areas where I'm going to need to still do it by hand, because I'm getting in, you know, the smaller stuff right here where I got other plants I want to keep alive and don't want to tear everything up. Now, our last approach is by using chemicals to get rid of cattails. And this product, Avocet PLX, says specifically that controls cattails and more. Aquatic grasses, reeds, water primrose, purple loosestrife, water hyacinths, and water lettuce. And read the back panel. There's a booklet that comes with it for all of the instructions and how to use it. This also comes with the surfactant, where it helps to stick it to the leaves. So you want to be, when you spray this on, you don't want to be in a windy day like today when the cattails are moving about, because your Avocet's going to be sprayed onto other plants that you may want to keep, or onto the water and affect other plants. So read the back panel, watch the cautions, follow the directions. Then that's the chemical to get rid of the cattails. You want to use it when you see the seed heads come out, the brown things on the cattails. That helps to, because the root system's trying to feed that. Once you get the chemical into the stems, into the green on the cattail, it'll suck it down into the roots and kill the cattails by the roots. Next year may have some cattails, but there'll be less. You may have to reapply. There you go. That's how we work the cattails. And here we have it, all cleaned up. Got the big clump of cattails out of the way. Did my little trimming on this pile. Not gonna pick it all up, of course, but we got a good substantial part of the root systems. Crazy. Let's go like crazy. All right, back to work.